Sending data. Is it going live? I guess we don't know until we know. And then we know. Okay, wait a minute. Is it live on Facebook? Oh, it shows live. Oh my gosh. Okay, it's live on Facebook. Is it live on YouTube? Could it be? We don't know. Hopefully it is. If it's not, I've lied to everybody. Oh my gosh. Oh, it says we're live now. So that's, oh my gosh, it worked. And it shows that we have viewers and everything. This is so cool. Okay, awesome.
Hey, everybody.
What's up, everybody? Okay, so we're here for week number 2 of the WordPress AMA, where we answer your questions about WordPress and WooCommerce. David will be joining us shortly. Oh, Adam Silver says hello. Hello, Adam. Awesome. So David will be joining us shortly. He's finishing dinner. He's definitely not in the same time zone. And we're going to go around while I share this link out on the Twitters, and everybody can introduce themselves. So let me go to speaker view, and we'll start with Topher. Tell us who you are, who you work for, and how people can get a hold of you either during or after this show.
All right. My name is Topher. I work for BigCommerce. We're an e-commerce SaaS, but we also work very much in headless. So you'll find us in WordPress and Drupal and Gatsby and all that stuff. You can find me pretty much everywhere on the internet as Topher1Kenobi with the number 1 in the middle there. Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, WordPress, Slack, many WordCamp Slacks. That's the handle I use, so you can find me there. If you want to email me, you can email me at topher@bigcommerce.com.
Hey everyone. I'll go. I'm Michelle Butcher Jones. I work for Thrive Agency that's based out of Arlington, Texas, as their support specialist. And then I also run a community blog at Can't Speak Geek. I presently live in Southern Illinois, and you can find me online either for Twitter at Michelle_Butcher and many of the WordPress flavored Slacks as Michelle Butcher Jones. And then on Facebook, I'm on there as well as Michelle Butcher Jones.
Hi everyone, I'm Amanda Gorman. I'm Customer Success Manager at GiveWP. I talk to customers every day, and I am based in Rochester, New York. And you can find me across social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at Amanda Gorman without the A, so Gormn. And you can email me at amanda@givewp.com.
Sweet. That worked amazingly well. And I'm
Who are you, sir?
Yeah. Hey, really? Thanks for asking, Topher. So I'm Mendel. I work at Liquid Web Nexus. We do managed WooCommerce and WordPress hosting, and I'm the nut that put this entire thing together so that we can answer your WordPress and WooCommerce questions. We have an expert panel. If there are questions that we can't answer or that we don't know the answers to, we will find those answers for you. So feel free to ask them, and we'll get somebody on that can answer them in the future, or we'll go research it and get back to you. And by we, I mean I am solely obligated because everybody else is volunteering their time to be on this show. Okay, so if you have a question, please post it. If you're on YouTube, awesome, post it on YouTube. If you're on Facebook, awesome, post it on Facebook as a comment, and we will answer your wonderful questions. So we are close to getting David into the Zoom room. We decided not to have a public Zoom link this time because weird stuff happens when you post public links to Zoom rooms. So we're locking it down and letting you ask questions in Facebook. And oh, look at David with his crazy background. We're letting you ask questions on Facebook and YouTube. Now, if you have a simple question, that's cool, ask it. If you have a complex question, that's cool, you can ask that too. So it doesn't matter how simple or seemingly obvious the answer might be. You can certainly ask that question if you want to. So David just joined us. We're going to let David introduce himself. Go for it, David.
If I can find the unmute button. Hi. Thanks for having me again, Mendel. I'm David Lockie, CEO at Pragmatic. We're a WordPress agency down in Brighton in the UK. Partners with WP Engine, WordPress.com VIP. Super happy to be here. Thanks.
Sweet. And David apparently has joined the space program and has now found himself out of this world, which is cool. Sweet. So let's get into it. So as a reminder, you're going to hear me saying this a lot, but please leave your questions if you have questions. Other than that, I think, you know what? I really want to hear what Amanda has to say about Give. So I asked Amanda to come on today. I know that giving is on a lot of people's minds, and we just kind of wanted to talk about how to do cool stuff on a website that is designed for giving. One quick question before Amanda gets started. If anybody on the live stream could let us know if the live stream is coming through okay. We're using a couple new services today to send this live stream out to you. So make sure and let us know if the audio is good, if the video is good, if it's choppy, if it's not choppy, all that stuff. So Amanda, take it away. Oh, wait, hold on. Before you do, let me start recording. Cool. Okay, so go for it.
Awesome. Thank you so much. All right, so I'm going to share my screen. So GiveWP is a WordPress plugin, of course, that allows you to accept donations on your website seamlessly. So you're able to integrate your forms to adopt your styling of your website as it is already. So there shouldn't be much you have to do to get up and running. And that's really important for nonprofits, especially right now that I'm talking to that are maybe even new to the tech world. I've been talking to a lot of churches and a lot of just nonprofits that are around the world that really didn't rely on online giving until this pandemic happened. And now they're forced to rely on that kind of means of giving to sustain their cause. So Give really offers a easy solution to get that form up and running really quickly. And a donation form could look something like this. This is just our demo website we've created. And I just want to show you today, we have a couple free new add-ons that we've released that you can install on the free version of the plugin to not only accept donations with a credit card, with Stripe, with our free version of Stripe, but to also customize the way that the confirmation page looks when the donor actually completes the donation. So this is just an example of that form. If we look at the back end of the form within the WordPress dashboard, the confirmations per form confirmation add-on is one of our new free add-ons that basically ties into the confirmation page that the donor will land on once they complete their donation. So this first page here is the original page, just the generic page that we have for all donations that are completed on this particular website. So you can see on the right-hand side, the donation receipt information. And for this particular donation, there's a PDF download available as well. Specifics relating to the queries that they filled out. And we added some content on the left and a little banner at the top. So in most cases, up until this new add-on came out, this would be the page that every donation would see. Every single donation would have the same confirmation page. Whereas with the new per form confirmation add-on, we're able to customize things. So I made small little tweaks. So you can see I just changed a little bit of the heading here, just a different language in the main heading. I added an image on the left, and I referred to the donation form a little more specifically here. So it's really just a simple little tweak that can be made that's specific to this donation form that you completed, that is related to the Youth Education Fund in this case, so that all the content that is related to this confirmation page is only specific to the people that donated to that particular cause that you contributed to. One of our other add-ons, the free add-on that we recently came out with, was our social sharing add-on. So being able to allow your donors to share their donation on social media, in this case, Facebook and Twitter, being able to share that across the airwaves to then get ideally more supporters. And that's been a long-awaited add-on for our customers, and it really helps them to get that word out even further.
Boom.
Yeah. Any questions from our
panel? That is super cool. Does anybody have questions about Give WP? That's the first thing I want to ask. The second thing, I have a question for you, Amanda.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that you can customize the confirmation landing page or the confirmation page. Is there a way to customize the emails?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's already built into the core plugin. So under email notifications within the actual settings of the plugin, there's a whole emails configuration under the settings for the global options that you can configure for all donation forms. You don't want to recreate the wheel every time. But if you do have custom messaging, you can just go to email notifications and then donation receipt, and we'll click customize, which overrides our global options. Then you can add your own custom messaging, add images, video content, whatever you'd like to really make that specific. So not only is the confirmation message clear, but also the receipt that the donor gets is also clear with that messaging. I actually just spoke with somebody this morning that's customizing all of this, as she has an orphanage where each form is a different child that's going to have a sponsorship. And then the only way that the donor will be able to receive specific information about that child is if they've made a donation. So it was important to her to have that confirmation page and email customized so that only the people that have donated to that child will see that information.
That's awesome. I want to come back to you and ask you a more general question about Give WP, but I also don't want to put you on the spot right off the bat. So we'll come back to that. Just to cue it up, I want to come back and ask you about just creating from start to finish a quick giving site for different types of donations that people might be interested in helping out with right now with COVID-19. So we'll come back to you in a sec. If you can stop sharing your screen, I'm going to put out a call for questions. And somebody just mentioned that the WP Blocks conference is live right now, which is awesome. And also, we're probably competing for viewers. So I'm sorry to you, WP Blocks conference, although you're probably taking our viewers, which is totally okay and awesome, because this will be a replay later, as opposed to us taking yours, because I think blocks are cool. We talked about that last week, which yeah, we love blocks. Blocks are rad. I believe that Michelle said last week, just love blocks because blocks, they're not going away. And then I think Bob WP was like, I love blocks. Blocks are everything to me. So anyway, let's see here. Do we have any comments? So, oh, interesting. So we got a question here from Nomad Skateboarding. What's going on? So they ask, WP Give versus WooCommerce subscriptions. What's the difference? Maybe you can talk a little bit about that, Amanda. And yeah, what's good, what's bad, what's great? How does that all work?
Yeah, so we actually integrate with WooCommerce. We have an add-on for WooCommerce where if you have a shopping cart with WooCommerce, then you want to add a donation to that shopping cart. So if somebody's buying a t-shirt, but you also want to have the option to allow them to add an additional donation of $5, $10 to that cart purchase, our WooCommerce upsell add-on will allow you to accomplish that. So we typically recommend customers that are using WooCommerce as maybe a donation solution to pair it with Give for that nice shopping cart experience to add that donation. But if they're looking to just complete a donation, to use a Give form, since it's a really point blank, really straightforward, and there's only a few clicks that need to happen to really make that donation just right away, and there's no taking them away from the website, especially if you're using the Stripe add-on to keep the credit card information all on the website and they're not redirected anywhere other than on your own website.
That's awesome. And now it's super clear to me why Matt Cromwell asked you to come on instead of appearing himself, because your answers are super concise and awesome, and I'm sure everybody listening really appreciates that. And then we have another comment. If you don't sell anything, oh, it's Mark Andrew. What up? If you don't sell anything, I'm using recurring donations currently through Stripe and Jetpack integration. So that's a good to know. And sweet. Really appreciate you chiming in. And now, if anybody else has any questions about GiveWP, about WordPress, about WooCommerce, we are here for you. We really are. And we'll answer your questions. I have an Astra demo coming up, but not quite yet, because I know that there are other people that are eager to demo some things. So and thanks for the shout and the participation, Nomad Skateboarding, aka Mark Andrew. Please keep the questions coming, everybody, whether you're on Facebook or you're on the YouTubes. So who's next? Maybe Topher.
You want a demo?
Heck yeah.
Okay, I have two. One of them is very short, and I'll start with that one. Let me share my screen here. All right. So two things here. One is I want to point out WP Mainline. Jeff Chandler made WP Tavern years ago and has since left there and has started a new site called WP Mainline. The tavern started as Jeff's editorial space and morphed over time to be a good journalism place. And Mainline is back to Jeff's editorialism. But it's not just Jeff now. This article we're looking at here right now was written by my lovely wife. She's now a writer for Mainline, and particularly apropos, this is tips and resources to help your business survive the COVID-19 pandemic. So these aren't tips about remote working. They're not tips about maintaining your sanity. They're tips about keeping your existing business alive, or perhaps even starting a new business now while things are awkward. So that's
there
my
it
demo.
is. Another quick hitting tip from Topher. Topher is like, he's like the one-liner of demos, right? He's
right.
like, I'm coming in. I've got a 30-second demo for you. Boom. Which is awesome. And
Topher is it with his talking. It's short, it's sweet, it's to the point, and it blows your mind every time.
Right. The opposite of Mendel. The opposite of Mendel. I talk about nothing. I just ramble. But it's a skill you have to have if you're going to keep a band of people together for an hour and a half answering questions awkwardly on a live feed open to the entire internet. So with that being said, if you have questions, please leave them in the comments. I can see there's some good conversation happening over at YouTube, which is awesome. But we'd love to hear from you, even if it's just to say, hey, tell us that you're there, that you're watching. Makes us want to do this again in the future, and makes people believe that that it's valuable, that people are there. So Michelle popped in, by the way, on the chat, which is awesome. And of course, she works at Give WP and is answering some questions in the thread there as well, which is super cool and super helpful. Anyway, I'm going to share out to Facebook really quick, but while I'm doing that, David, I bet you seem like a guy that might have a demo in your pocket.
No, I'm just pleased to see you, Mendo.
From space.
So I'm going to just I'm going to keep with the Give WP theme and just do like a real quick demo of what this can look like in the wild and why it's so powerful. Can you all see? Yeah.
Yep.
You see my? Yeah, cool. So this is a local hospice down where we live, Brighton and Hove in the UK, and they are a charity. We built their site 2019, and like this is their support us page, and I kind of wanted to show just like how hard charitable non-profit organizations need to work now to fundraise. I mean, it's just like, I mean, I think all businesses are going through this, all organizations are going through this, but you know, maximizing revenue online it's no longer a one revenue stream business, right? You have to have lots of different outcomes for lots of different stakeholders who are able to give in different ways, contribute to your cause in other ways, or at different stages of their relationship with you. So what's really powerful for Give WP for us is like all of these are different ways. Some of them are online journeys, some of them are offline journeys. But right up here in the header, we can have a lovely big donate button. And it's just like a super simple form that takes you through. So my connection's a bit slow. So you can make regular donations, simple single donations. Like you couldn't have a simpler user experience for somebody that just wants to come and give and support this charity that does such important work. So yeah, kudos to the Give WP team, and just thought it'd be cool to show the plugin in action. You know, it's been really good for the charity, and it sits really neatly alongside all the different ways that you can support them.
Awesome. Cool. All the way from outer space using Give on a that's a client site or somebody you know. So that's cool.
That's one of Pragmatic's clients.
Ah, sweet. Pragmatic. I like the name. Seems very pragmatic. All right. So anyway, I'll do a demo. I've been asking everybody else to do demos. I'll do one. And then Michelle, I'm going to have you up next. But everybody, if you have questions, leave them for us. Even if they're crazy questions about WordPress or WooCommerce. We don't just want general crazy questions. That might not end well. I'm done with Zoom bombing and stuff like that. So okay, let me grab my WordPress dashboard, move the chat out of the way, and here we go. So you know what? I would love if after I do this demo, I come back to the chat on Facebook or YouTube, and there are just questions waiting for me. I don't know how many more ways I can ask for questions, but okay. So here we go. So let me share my screen. And cool. Does everybody see this right now?
Yep.
Okay, awesome. So so I love Astra. The theme is awesome. And the reason it's awesome is because it's super performant, and it also works super well with WooCommerce. And there's a particular feature with Astra that I love, and I'm going to show it to you. So I've already installed Astra Pro using the Nexus installer, And so I'm going to go into Appearance and Astra Options. And I'm just going to, just so that we can have everything there, I'm just going to activate all of the Pro features. Now I'm going to head back out to the main screen. Okay, so we're going to customize, and this particular tip has to do with the menu. So, of course, the menu on a WooCommerce website, sometimes it has a lot of information, right? So, might have my account. It also might have product categories and things like that. So, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to create a new menu, and the new menu is just going to be, let's say it's categories. And for the purpose of this demo, I'm going to just put in some random custom custom links. They're up there. Okay, so cat 1, since I don't have categories on the site, cat 2, cat 3. Cool. Okay. Sweet. And then I'm going to make that the primary menu. So you can see that's appeared right over here. And then I'm going to create a new menu, and I'm going to say account stuff. And I'm going to make this the above header menu. Get back to that in a second, and we'll add items, and we'll do my account, cart, cart, shipping, policies, etc. Sweet. And so now you see that's not showing up. So then what we'll do is we'll go to the header, go to the above header, just add in a menu. So we will put that right there. You can see that my account, cart, shipping policies, all that stuff is showing up there. So that's all super cool. And you can see that when you compress or you make this window smaller, you have 2 mobile menus. This one's behind the pen, but there are 2 mobile menus, right? And I've always struggled with how to make the 2 menus merge into one, so that when you're on mobile, you don't have to do all sorts of fancy CSS and JavaScript and stuff like that to get it to work. It just works. So Astra has this awesome feature called Merge Menu on Mobile Devices. Okay, so check this out. This is super cool. So when I change it, now all of those categories or all of those menu items now show up under one menu without me having to do any additional work to move them there. And you can see we'll unclick Merge Menu on Mobile Devices. Now we have the menu separate. Again, just showing you what it looks like. Now they're all in one. So it automatically merges the menus for you so that you don't have to worry about doing all of the fancy CSS and JavaScript stuff to make that happen. So you can hit publish, and now the website is rocking and rolling with the responsive menu that merges both into one. What do you think about that one?
I like it.
Sweet.
I recently paid somebody to do that menu thing manually.
and you could have just paid for either paid for the Astra Pro or it's free on our WooCommerce hosting. So,
but it was wedging it into a very old existing theme.
Oh yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, yeah, but anyway, I love that feature. I love Astra for a lot of reasons, but that's one of them. So Michelle, it seems like you might be up. Let me check the chat really quick though. Let's see if anybody has mentioned anything. And it does not appear that anybody has mentioned anything yet, but I believe, I'm holding out hope that people are going to ask questions on Facebook and on YouTube. We'll see. Who knows? Ask your questions, please, and do not make me beg for questions. Hey, thanks a lot for the kudos. Appreciate you appreciating us, giving you some interesting content. I don't know if it's great, but I will say it's at least maybe entertaining, maybe slightly interesting. So Michelle, do you want to take it away and show us something cool?
Yes, I can.
Sweet.
Let me see here if it's ready to go yet. Because one thing that we have noticed has been a fun thing to deal with is clients deciding they want to change their domain URL. And depending on who the host is, sometimes they don't have free SSL. And you don't really want to pay for an SSL for 2 domains when you're going to be, oh, I shared the wrong screen, 1 second. When you're only going to be really using one, because the other one will probably go away for a while. So in looking at Cloudflare, there is actually a way you can do it. You set up Cloudflare like you normally would on your old domain, the one that you're moving off, and you add in the DNS. I've got it set up that I'm going to have mine redirect to a URL called 13bit.com. It's going to redirect to my actual site, 13core. And set everything up and set up the DNS over in Namecheap for me, Chuck and Mona. Kind of reminds me of Dick and Wanda from Bones. And put everything in, and then you'll have to wait for Cloudflare to activate, which I just started this, so it might not be propagating yet. And then once that is done, you'll go over to your host. And for this one, I am using Pantheon. And we've got everything set up. And let me check domain values. And it's still showing the old. So this might be a little bit of a hiccup, but nevertheless, I can still show you how everything sets up. And if you are on a cPanel type hosting, you will want to use their aliases. If you're using WP Engine or Flywheel, you'll want to just add it into the domains, but make sure your primary will be the one that you want it to go to after everything is said and done. And once everything populates, it will be working. And of course, right now, kind of having the same issue Topher had last week of, I got everything ready, but it just doesn't want to cook yet. I can try it to see if it has populated over yet, because we all know populating DNS records wants to take a while. And it's still failing, but this is an easy way to set up a redirect without having to deal with a redirect plugin or adding it to htaccess, and you get the go back over here, the free SSL with it. You'll want to make sure it is set for flexible. And what flexible will do is say you want to go to one of the sub pages. It will automatically redirect properly for you. You won't have any of those annoying privacy pop-ups for you in the end. And I will try to do this tutorial once again later on, and I can post that works, and I can post a link for you on that one, Mendel.
Sweet. That's awesome. I've also seen this done with page rules. So there's so many ways to do redirects, which is cool. And what's up?
How we figured this one out, we use Flywheel a lot at Thrive, and for them, they will give you a free SSL certificate, but it only covers one site. So we had to figure out a way of covering more URLs that way.
Got it. Cool. Sweet. Awesome. Well, so yeah, we'll see if we can jump back in and see the finished product of that particular demo. In the meantime, I'm gonna bring up Facebook and see who's here. Whoa, it's talking. It was Inception. It was talking. It was continuing to talk to me. Cool. It looks like we have a few people hanging out, and we'd love your questions, or just tell us how things are going on in your neck of the woods. Yeah, everybody's kind of indoors doing their thing. So how are you spending your time indoors? What's your work setup look like? Send us a photo. Whatever. Just comment something and let us know you're out there. And hold on. So awesome enough. It seems like this is how things are going to be. People not asking questions, but us doing demos, which is totally okay too, because I like seeing demos. I learned like 3 new things last week. This is like a little selfish for me. Yeah, but anyway, who like, I guess Amanda's back up. So Amanda, I really want to know, well, I really want you to help everybody else know how to set up GiveWP, just to set it up for donations, whether it's monetary donations for first responders or for service workers or for who else? So many people out there, right? We would love to see how to set that up. And I guess my secondary question is there any way to set up Give to donate products rather than money? So in the case that you want to commit to donating 10 masks or something like that, is that possible too? So would love to hear a little bit more about that, and we have a question to answer after that. So I'll let you answer that.
Cool, thanks. So I'm going to share my screen again. So all great questions. I'm going to kind of bounce around here a little bit. So first of all, you'll be able to download the Give plugin right from the WordPress repository. The free plugin is available there for you. So you'll be able to find that plugin and download it. You'll have this heading section here where you can start building out your forms. So under the all forms section, each one of your forms will be displayed, and there will be a short code associated with each that you can display across your WordPress website to create buttons or display the forms in their entirety, or use some of our other display functions to put them all really beautifully on your website, and pages, posts, footers, widget areas, wherever you want. So that makes it just really nice to be able to place buttons in places in your website that is going to seamlessly fit in, kind of like a puzzle piece. So you don't have to kind of do too much work to your website as long as you have some content and are ready to start accepting donations. So something like this pop-up could be easily created for your website. And it's as simple as getting connected to a payment gateway on the back end of things. So making sure that you are choosing either PayPal or Stripe with our free version, or using one of our paid add-ons for another payment gateway like authorize.net or something else in your country. So we've got lots of options for people around the world, and then you can start accepting donations. And to answer your question about the different products or potential of maybe different segments of your organization that might be donating for a particular part of your cause that's maybe outside of just your general giving campaign. This is our donation form grid, which allows you to display multiple campaigns all side by side on one page. And all of these open up into a landing page. They can also open up into a pop-up window as well if you prefer. So with this particular form, you could use the dollar amounts here and name them. You could give them a title saying $10 equals 5 masks, or however many that equivalent would be. And you could give the description for each one of those dollar amounts on your form so that the donor has an idea of how far their donation is going to go. And then I would customize your emails. I'd customize the confirmation pages relating to that, collect any additional information that you need from your donor. And I think that would be a really awesome way to support people during this pandemic.
Cool. Is there an option to make a non-monetary donation? So more of a commitment rather than, or maybe a commitment for a monetary donation, but not to accept PayPal or check or something like that. I see there's offline donation. Is it possible to maybe label the funds as something else and just say, hey, expect 10,000 of this item from me or something like that?
Totally. Yeah. The offline donation is intended to receive checks in the mail. So I don't see why you couldn't work it out so that offline donation is the only thing that's an available payment method. Or if you do want to accept credit card and PayPal as an option as well. But you could also just have offline donation and associate these multi-level donations as different products that can be sent. Like, I'm going to send you 100 homemade masks, whatever it might be that they're sending in. And you would just put some instructions here, customizing that. And this will also be customized within the email as well. Now, the donations are going to be marked as pending in the back end of Give once an offline donation is made, so that you'll mark it as completed when you actually receive those goods.
Wow, that's super cool and a super powerful way to ask for donations. So,
and there always will be a monetary association. So you might just need to get kind of clever about how you label your amounts and multi-level donations up here, because Give does operate as a monetary form. So you could get creative, but just keep in mind there will be some kind of monetary that you'd have to equal out with those goods that are sent or money.
sweet. Awesome. Well, thanks. Sweet. So, so we got the question from plugin tutorial, WordPress tutorials, to show your favorite example of a reusable block. So, who here uses reusable blocks? Anybody?
I have never done that.
So, oh, I know who this is. This is great. So reusable blocks. I don't use them. I use the Astra starter themes to use their equivalent of a reusable block, which I actually think is probably worth demoing. But I haven't created any reusable blocks because I often use Beaver Builder or Elementor to build sites. And when it comes to blocking here, let me bring this up. Let me bring back my demo site. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's on the screen right now. Okay. So Let me move my chat over. Okay, so this is actually a pretty cool feature. I'm gonna share now. Share. Where did it go? Oh, there it is. Okay, cool. So this is a pretty cool feature of Astra, and I guess today is Astra Day for me. So check this out. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Sweet. Okay, so I'm going to add a new plugin. I'm going to type in starter theme. And you can see starter templates, Elementor, Beaver Builder, Gutenberg, and Brizzy template. So I'm going to click install and activate. And now go to appearance, go to starter templates. Now what's super cool about this is you can select your preferred page builder ahead of time. You can also change this when you're in their actual starter template plugin, but I'm going to select Gutenberg. Now let's remember what this website looked like, right? So this is what it looked like before. And now I'll say I want to make an outdoor adventure website, and I want to import the complete site. And just click import. Now it's going to install some plugins for me, and then it's going to configure those plugins, which is, to me, super awesome. So we'll wait for it to go through that. Now this particular plugin is free, which is awesome, and works specifically with the Astra theme. So they're downloading some hero images and things like that, just so that it gives us a good idea of what the template should look like, and then you can go in and replace those yourselves. So it's complete. Now let's refresh the original site, and all of a sudden we have a completely designed site that we can go and replace images, and we can change text and things like that. What's super cool about this is that they just introduced single page imports. So you can, let's look for different template like a Learn-Academy. And let's say we want to offer courses on a particular page. So you can actually click all courses and click import all courses template. And again, it's going through the same process, and we can view that template. And now within the website, there's actually, it looks like there's a slight error. We can probably fix that with a quick plugin install. But you can see that now there's an all courses page. And of course, we still have the rest of the template here. So it really makes creating pages pretty quick. And when you go to edit the page, the reason why I thought of this when you're talking about reusable blocks is because these are all blocks within Gutenberg. And so you're going to edit it right here in the admin, which is super fun. Now, of course, you can do the exact same thing. If you go back over to Appearance, Starter Templates, and you choose, instead of Gutenberg, Elementor, now you can have the exact same template applied using Elementor as opposed to Gutenberg, and you're on your way again. So I think it's a super cool way to play around with new page designs, maybe update the look of your website. And remember, the website that we had previously looked nothing like this. And now it's a fully formed, beautiful website. So that is my slight reusable blocks demo. Thanks for that, Matt.
Hey, Mendel.
What's up?
I have 10 minutes before I need to go, and I have two things to show. They're both short.
Show them. Yeah, please do it. but unmute yourself first.
Wine. So the first is actually a concept, not a specific piece of software, and that is channels in e-commerce. WooCommerce and BigCommerce both do this. This is our thing about how to do it with the channel manager. With WooCommerce, you would install some plugins to do it. But the concept is that you have a single store that is the source of truth for your inventory and things like that. But then you push those products out to other stores. Out of the box, BigCommerce does eBay, Instagram, Facebook, and Amazon. And then additionally, this is a cool thing about our headless stuff. WordPress now can be a channel. So you can spin up as many channels as you want to sell on as many sub stores as you want. In the WooCommerce world, the Amazon eBay one is free and the Facebook one is free. Some of the others cost money. Amazon is the big player in the room. If you have your own store and can also sell on Amazon, you're going to do well. But this is significant because it's easy. If you already have a store, it's relatively easy to just take your products and put them on a big storefront like Amazon, and there isn't really a downside. Of course, they're going to take a little slice of your sales, but you're getting more sales, and that's really hard to argue with. I had this tab up. Oh yeah, because this is the WordPress channel for BigCommerce. So the concept is channels. If you have a Woo store or a BigCommerce store, you should look into it and get your products out into more places because it's cheap, easy income. The other thing I wanted to show off is called Facet WP. This is for faceted search. And what that means is it's a kind of an Ajax search. So the page reloads as you change your search things. So you can sort right here. Let's sort by price. And there, now we're sorting by price. And I can say, I want only Audi cars. And there they are. And I want only all-wheel drive. Well, there's too many of those. This is just front-wheel drive. So now we're down to 2. And my budget is $35,000. So there we go. That's the car for me. This is really great for searching through inventories of things that are similar, like cars or houses or anything like that. Facet WP is just a regular WordPress plugin. It has built-in custom support for BigCommerce. I believe it works with WooCommerce, but Woo has its own faceted search tool. So you might want to use that because it might work better with Woo. But I highly recommend faceted search if you have inventory that fits it.
Awesome. Yeah, I just implemented Facet WP on a cigar store, an online cigar store, and it works seamlessly with Jetpack Elasticsearch, which is
nice.
a super crazy implementation. So you have super relevant results, and then you get those results, and you can then sort using facets or filter using facets. So huge fan of Facet WP. I will say the only weird thing about it is occasionally the cache and or the index gets a little wonky. So that was what I got caught on the first time I ever used it, was rebuilding the index when you create a new facet, which that's a gotcha. So if you ever use it, you might want to remember that one in the back of your head. So
I have found the developers to be very responsive. So if you
they're
problems,
super awesome.
Just reach out.
Super awesome.
We've actually used Facet for Give as well to sort through our donation form grid, all the donation forms. That's a tutorial we've written about applying that for searching donation forms too.
Oh, that's awesome. Huh. Cool. Yeah, Facet WP is in every facet of our WordPress lives. Topher, thank you for joining us. I know you have to jump out of here, but yeah, thanks for the demos and thanks for joining us. if anybody has questions for Topher, I'll answer them, especially if they're like, what's Topher's bank account number and stuff like that. So
it's 12.
12. That's right.
All right.
Cool. Thanks a lot, Topher. We'll see you later. Sweet. Awesome. So let's put one more call out for questions. If you're on Facebook, I see John Brown just joined us. That's awesome. If you have questions on the Facebook stream, please leave them. If you have questions on the YouTube stream, please leave them. Thanks for showing up, Matt. It was cool to see you, and appreciate your question. He mentioned, by the way, Matt from the Matt Report, who he's just a cool cat, just an interesting dude. Oh my gosh, there's somebody else in space with David. That was crazy. Oh my, what is happening? That's amazing. I didn't even know people could get to space that quickly.
Baby astronaut.
Also, Mendel, we want to wish a very happy belated birthday to John Brown.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, he did. He had a birthday. It may have been an April Fool's joke. I don't know. Oh, what was I gonna say? Oh, Matt said that he uses Gutenberg on basic sites without the builders, and uses them for snippets of JavaScript, which I thought was super cool. That you would use a reusable block for a piece of JavaScript that you want to put in different places. So, yeah, really interesting and neat implementation. So I'm going to stick that one in my back pocket.
Really helpful for things like HubSpot forms, for example.
Oh yeah.
Like if you're dumping HubSpot and you don't want to load the whole plugin, you can use reusable.
Yeah, especially if you don't want to use the full implementation of the HubSpot plugin. I could see that being a great way to do it. I think it's published. Let me take a look. Oh yeah, it is published. I just wrote an article on the Nexus blog about the HubSpot integration and played around with a lot of that, and it's super cool. What you can do with HubSpot, just adding in a chat or adding in a form, it takes like no time. It's super neat. So anyway, sweet. So David, are you ready for another demo? I know that you had children in space.
No, she's gone now. I've just been
it's bedtime there, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, she's just up to bed. So yeah, I've just been battling. Like, people often complain that software is buggy and blah blah blah. I've just been battling for the last 15 minutes trying to get to log into my Instagram account through a Facebook login, and there's literally a JavaScript error in their console, and the whole thing just crapped out. So I've just anyway, so I'm now ready to do that demo. But usually it's stuff with WordPress that goes wrong, so it's kind of good to see that even Facebook can.
Yeah. Darn it.
Okay, so I wanted to talk through WordProof, which is a super cool plugin. Can you all see the screen okay? All right, so in this world of fake news and not knowing what to trust, whether a site has started out with kind of malicious intentions, or perhaps like somebody's gone onto the site's content and manipulated it along the way. WordProof solves this problem using my second favorite technology, blockchain. And the way it does it is really elegant. So you just sign up for an account here, you get a free account, you can sort of stamp 10 articles a month. And then in your WordPress dashboard, you have like a little wizard. It'll talk you through the setup. I'll just replay the setup wizard just so you can see what's involved. But it's just it's a public plugin. You search on the WordPress plugins replay for it. So you start the setup. You get your key from your WordProof dashboard. I've already got mine in there, and then you can set it to timestamp different post types automatically. So when you post a new, I've got it set to do my photos here, but I might also do it for my posts or something else. You go through, you can change the text that we'll see in a second, and that's it. So WordProof is now configured, and what that means is that one can go to a like an admin screen with a list of posts, and if you've written something important, you can get it timestamped by WordProof. So here we go. We can see that it's added an admin column here. Let's see if I can zoom in. I know my screen's a bit. So this second one here, the weekly photos post, I wrote something, and if I wanted to make sure that anyone that was looking at that post knew what they were looking at, so here's the post I wrote, not very much, and then WordProof has inserted this little link at the bottom. When you click that, it checks that the content that's on the page, like so that post content, is unchanged since that post was timestamped. So it's got a little guide as to why it's important. It basically means that a visitor can trust that this this post that I've written is exactly as when I published it. Now, that's not very important for my personal blog, but if you're looking at like an authoritative news site, I'd say a government news site, but that's the biggest fake news of all at the moment. Not in any particular country, but you know, just generally. And this lets you check that what was written on the site is exactly what you're reading now. And if you want to verify that, you can verify it, so you can see the exact content. So this is the code, and this is the sort of readable text. And then if you want to like really go to source, you can click to view that through on the blockchain itself. So WordProof uses the EOS blockchain. And if you know about blockchain, great, you'll understand what this is. It's a transaction. If you don't, it's basically an entry into the ledger, into the distributed ledger. So if you send Bitcoin to somebody, it creates a transaction. You can see that transaction publicly, but you can also store lots of other things on the blockchain through a transaction. And so here we can see the raw data that was saved in the transaction by WordProof, and this will be the encrypted data version of my post. So if I then go and change that content, it will alert me that that content's changed on the page. So it's a really neat plugin. The guys have done a great job of building this out, and I think it's one part of the puzzle to solve for how we increase trust in what we're reading online. So yeah, that was WordProof. We can timestamp another one. So I've written this on a post. If we want to timestamp it, we just click it, sends the post content to WordProof. WordProof service then puts that on the blockchain. And now when we view this post as well, it'll have its own certificate, and anyone, anywhere can now verify that this post, as it is right now, is exactly as it was when I published it. It hasn't been intercepted or meddled about with in any way, which I think is cool.
Awesome, thank you. And we got a little political commentary there too. So so yeah, cool. I
can't sidestep that. Right?
What's that? Sorry, you cut out.
I said code is political, right? We're literally building the organizational and societal structures that future generations are going to live with, right? So we can't step away from responsibility there.
Yeah, especially when we talk about democratizing content, but that's probably another show.
It's a different podcast.
Yeah, right, exactly. Cool. So I think a great way to end things would be with maybe some conversation about favorite plugins, because Michelle requested it, and if Michelle requests it, then that's how it's gonna go down. But if you do have any questions right now, please send them to us. And please also, if you want to see future live shows, feel free to hit the follow or subscribe button so that you get a notification when I go live again with some cast of characters. Who knows? So yeah, let's start with Michelle. What's your favorite plugin? Show us your favorite plugin.
And also, if they have ideas during the week of things that we could demo or talk about, they should tweet you, Mendel, or get on
You're
Facebook
right.
and let you know.
You are so right. Yeah, tweet me at If You Will It. Tweet any of us. Why not? Just tell us what you're thinking, what you'd like to see, what's going on.
Now, for most people who's been around the WordPress community a little while or working with WordPress has set up a WordPress.org account. And once you set it up, everyone has a profile. You can go in, put in your information, show what you've done with make.wordpress.org, the activity you've done, like speaking at WordCamps, joining the different organizing teams, and commenting on plugins for support, things of that nature will show up in your activity. If you've built any plugins, they can show here. But one of the most awesome things about the profiles is you can make a list of all of your favorite plugins. And it's really great for when you are if you're in the process of building a number of sites and you are wanting to kind of use the same plugins instead of having to go and look up each one. It makes it easier because you can just have them all in favorites. And how to pick your favorites. Someone give me a plugin that's on the repo.
I would say Pretty Pre, but I don't think it's there anymore. That one's good. Better URLs.
Well, I already have that one as a favorite. I guess we can use that. If you're wanting to put it on your favorite list, right by the download, there's a heart. It'll be grayed out if it's not on your list. Just click it and it will show red, and then it comes back on your My Favorites. And you can also see other people's favorites. What you can do is, let me see if I can see if Chris Wigman has any. I like to pick on him quite often. Org profile. And it'll pop up, and then scroll down to favorites, and it'll show what all ones he has in there. So you can look up anyone's who has a WordPress.org can have the favorites. And then once you go to actually put a plugin on your site, see, I don't want to use this one because this one is actually built on Pantheon and it's live. So let me
Forbidden.
Go. Yes, email is correct. Pay no attention to the updates because it's been a minute since I've been in this site. But you can go to uploading, and you can just click on the favorites. And you will type in your username, WordPress.org username, which mine is m_butcher, and click get favorites. And it will show you all of your favorites. So then if I want to say, I want to put hello security on here, since it's my plugin, which I need to update as well. If only I had this time everyone speaks of. We activate it and it's right there now on the site. And for that the Hello Security is kind of a play on like the Hello Dolly plugin, where it will give security ideas in your upper right corner. Like today, for this one, it says check your file permissions. If we refresh the page, it'll say schedule reoccurring backups. And so using the favorites with WordPress.org makes it so much easier when you need to save different plugins you like, so you don't have to keep remembering which one it was your favorite. And then when you go to download them to whatever site you're working on, it makes it a whole lot easier to just go and just press a bunch of buttons for download instead of having to search for each one of them.
Sweet. Awesome. Thanks. What about you, Amanda? Do you have a favorite plugin besides Give WP?
Well, of course, Give, right? My second favorite would probably be our WP Business Reviews. So I have a yoga studio here in Rochester. So WP Business Reviews allows you to display your reviews on your website in a really seamless way. So I love it for my yoga studio. I actually just switched my website and realized I haven't put it back on there yet. So this inspired me to go and do that today. But basically just being able to have carousels or lists or things like that. It's been really important to just kind of show off what good feedback we've been able to get at the yoga studio so that we hopefully get more students.
Sweet. That was a Topher length demo. That was good.
That might be a good one to actually demo.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm actually, yeah, I could do
Why
that.
not?
Let's see here. Hang on a second.
Now, I have to say, out of all the plugins that Impress has made, why I do absolutely love Give and the business reviews. Neither one is my actual favorite. My favorite by them is WP Rollback, because that has saved so many lives and time.
Yes, of course. It's truly a lifesaver. We utilize that and support a lot. So just to give you a quick view of the back end of WP Business Reviews, you can create collections for different services like Google, Facebook, Yelp, Yellow Pages, and Mado. So connect to your service of choice. Each one will get its own collection. And you can create tag collections as well, so that all of your reviews can display in one carousel or something like that. And it all works over Google's API or Facebook's API. So they each have different limitations of how many reviews can come over, but you can add as many of your own manual reviews as well. So you can change the review by taking away any kinds of content that you need. So you can really make it specific as you need. And you can change the presentation of that as well, so that it's a dark background, the light, or transparent, so it matches your website. And you can also, choose the gallery format, the carousel format where people can scroll through, or there's the list format as well, which is good for like a sidebar. And of course, you can filter by rating, which is really good. So if you don't have if you have reviews that are below that 5-star, you can filter by those. So this is one of my friend's websites, actually, that I helped her out with. She runs a pet salon, and she has a ton of Facebook reviews. So I was able to throw all of her Facebook reviews in this carousel here.
Awesome.
So yeah.
Sweet.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cool. And then one more favorite. I feel like David just shows us his favorite plugins all the time. But let's see what David's favorite plugin is. And in the meantime, I'm going to put one more call out for questions. If there aren't any questions, and we're going to end it after David's plugin demo. If there are questions, we'll stick around and answer them. So send us your questions if you have them. And if you don't, well, then don't send them. But if you do, then do. That's all I got.
That's all you need. So I'm going to talk about custom post type UI. I don't build many WordPress sites anymore. Back when I did do a lot of building, there used to be a like custom post type code generator website. In fact, I think maybe Topher showed it last week, where you can enter some stuff and it spits out the code for you to stick it in functions. I am going to show you CPT UI for a couple of reasons. One, because it's made by one of my favorite agencies that isn't pragmatic, and that's Web Dev Studios. Those guys do a ton of work open sourcing a lot of the tools they build. So I want to give them a bit of love, but I also want to show you like just how powerful it can be to be able to create your own content types in conjunction with all the other tools that you have in WordPress. So this is my personal site. I showed you photos last week. This week, I feel I want to give one of the things I want to do is to record what I'm listening to that week. You know, what's been my album of the week, so that I can leave that as like an emotional legacy to my little girl or something like that. So I'm going to stick in a new post type. So all you do is you come down to CPT UI, you add a new post type. So I'm going to put in weekly album or album of the week. That sounds more music, doesn't it? Album of the week. Albums of the week. So all I'm going to do is stick in basically three things: a slug, which has got underscores, the plural title, the single title, and then I can populate everything else, all the other fields for that. So I can type myself a reminder, give myself a little nudge. What have I loved listening to this week? I can say, these are my albums of the week. These are all albums of the week. So these are all the labels you can customize. You can go down. Well, there's a lot of labels you need to set. You can control where this is viewable. So you can have it private. You can have it part of the REST API. You can control all this stuff. So essentially anything you can do with defining custom post type, you can do here. So we'll have title, we'll have editor, we'll have comments, because why not? And maybe revisions, because maybe I'll be fickle and change my mind about my favorite album every week. But that's probably all we need. So just to kind of check, at the moment we've got post media links, forms, pages, portfolio, comments, quotes, photos. We don't have a music album of the week post type. As soon as I click add post type, bam, I get my albums of the week in here, and I can go right ahead and add my first one. So I've been listening to something I used to listen to like ages ago, back when I first started driving around, and it's an album from Ninja Tunes. Oh, hang on, let me just grab the link again. Right, so all I need to do is grab the album link from Spotify, paste it in there. It's embed, so it's just going to bring the whole thing through. I can publish that, and suddenly on my site, I've got an album of the week. Hopefully it's going to load the embed, and now I've got a brand new custom post type that I can use to just like jot that down, like build up a thing that's part of my life for the future. And actually, I might keep that and now use it. It was just meant to be a little demo, but I like the idea. So if I ever want to go back change anything, it's all manageable through CPT UI. There's no coding being done here. If I do want to get a bit nervous, you know, I've got all these custom post types. Are they fragile? Are they delicate? It comes with tools to export and backup. So if you wanted to like version control your post type settings or your taxonomy settings, you can do that. You can add them to your version control repo. I'm less bothered. It's all in the WordPress database. It's all backed up nightly. No big deal. But it's just a super sweet way of building the WordPress site that you want for your own purposes or for your clients.
Awesome. Yeah, CPT UI is super easy to use, which is nice. When there's a feature, people tend to make plugins around it to make it easier for people in the WordPress community, and everybody benefits. So super cool. Well, I'll tell you what, we haven't gotten any questions. I think people like listening more than they like talking. So that being said, I'm going to stop streaming, but thank you all for being with me and demoing stuff, and thank you to the people that did participate, even if it was just by listening. I dig that. So hopefully we've given you some things to consider, and we'll see you the next time. And it might be a completely different band of characters. It might be similar band of characters. I don't know. We'll just see. And if somebody wants to come on and demo something, then come on and demo something. Contemplating having an agency focused demo day. Maybe we should change the name to Demo Day. That'd be cool. But thinking about having an agency focused one, thinking about having a WooCommerce focused one. I know that there were some questions about backups and Divi, and still working on getting some expertise on here for those topics. So anyway, feel free to leave comments for things that you wish we had talked about. And with that, I'm going to stop the live stream. Hopefully, let's see if I can make it work. I don't know, but hopefully, maybe, oh my gosh, maybe we're just going to be perpetually live streaming, which that's terrifying. Let's see here.